Hey guys, what's going on? So today is another day in the Brew-Q brewery. So today we're going to do a blonde ale, and so I went to did the homebrew store video the other day. While I was there, I picked up a blonde ale kit. That recipe I got off of homebrewtalk.com or .org, homebrewtalk.org, I believe. Anyways, so let me go over what's in this recipe real quick. It's a 5.5 gallon batch size. It's 7 pounds of pale malt, 2-row US. It's 0.75 pounds of Carapils and dextrin. It's 0.5 pounds of caramel crystal malt, 10 Lovabond. It's Vienna malt, 0.5 pounds of Vienna malt. And then we got 0.25 ounces of Centennial for 55 minutes. We got 0.25 ounces of Centennial again for 35 minutes, and then we're going to do 0.25 ounces of Cascade for 20 minutes, and then 5 minutes before flame out we're going to do another 0.25 ounces of Cascade. And the yeast today we're using is Nottingham. So anyways, right now we got the strike water going. As soon as the strike water is up to temp, we're going to mix it with our grains, mash them in. And I calculated this out to about 1.25 gallons, or 1.25 quarts per pound, and we're looking at about 8.75 pound grain bill. So as soon as it's done, we'll get to mashing in. Okay guys, so I forgot to mention, I needed my strike water to be 164 degrees because my grain bill, my grain temp was sitting about 70.9, so the calculations came out. I'm looking for a mash temp of around between 150 and 152, so that's what I came out when I did my calculations. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add the strike water and then mash in our grain bill. There's the mash water. Or strike water, whatever you want to call it. And I always like to use the stabilizer. This is about 2.75 gallons of water, so I'm only going to use a little over half of a tablespoon of this stuff. Because you only really need to use a tablespoon to a 5 gallon liquid volume, so right about there. Just let the magic happen there. Alright, let's mash in our grains. Mash paddle in there. Grain mashing time. Oh, wait a minute, he double whacked it. Let me tear open the second hole here. There we go. Use my super ginormous mash paddle. And mix it up good. Add the rest. But this is probably the smallest grain bill I've ever done. But this is a very light beer. It's a blonde. It should come in around 4.25% ABV. Let's go ahead and mix it in real good, get rid of any dough balls. Take this off the side here. Alright, we're pretty well doughed in here. Let's do a temperature check. Okay, so I'm a little under on temperature, so what I'm going to have to do is heat up a little more strike water, hotter, to heat it to get this up to where I need it to be. So I'm going to cap this for a minute and do just that. Alright, so we got it to 212. Let's go ahead and mash it in with, try to get this temperature up to 152. Hot water. Alright, let's mix her in. We'll see if Beer Smith comes out right here. Let me put this on hold. Okay. We got to 153.9. It's going to kind of bounce around a little bit inside the mash tun. I think we're going to end up about 153, honestly, because of the grain pockets as the water kind of sets in. But I'm happy with 153.9, and we're just going to let it go, because as long as you're between 150 and 155, you're kind of in a safe zone, at least for this beer anyhow. So we're going to go ahead and cap it and call it mash time. Let it sit for 60 minutes. Alright guys, it's been an hour. We got to check and see if our starch to sugar conversion happened. So I'm going to start running what's called Vorlauf, and I'm going to take a sample of it and taste it and see if we got some sugar in there. So let's go ahead and get that going. So take the mash tun top off. I'm going to run some into my collection cup here. Of course, you're going to have big chunks and bits and pieces here while the grain bed settles. Kind of run it slow here just to get a flow going. Oh, definitely blonde color. Good blonde color. Should dab a little on your finger there. Oh yeah, good and sugary. Successful starch conversion. So, I'm just going to run this until it's running clear, and then we'll start gathering it in our brew pot. And also, between the time I did the mash and now, I had heated up about 4 gallons of sparge water, so we can do the fly sparging here. So I'll show you that here in a moment. Cheers. Alright guys, what I'm doing here is called Vorlaufing, and I just thought I'd show you this. I put a strainer on top here, and I got my grain bed underneath. So basically, I'm just taking it and I don't want to disturb the bed, so I put this colander on top, and I just kind of pour the wort back on top. And what I'm doing is I'm running this until it comes out pretty clear, and you can see it's got a nice blonde color to it. I think this beer is going to be outstanding. It's definitely got good sugar in it. So I'm going to just keep running this until I get real clear wort on the other end, and then I'll start gathering it in my pot, and then we'll put it to boil. Alright guys, time to start some fly sparging here. I'm going to keep about 1/2 inch to 1 inch of sparge water above the grain bed here. We're collecting it in our pot down below, and as soon as we have collected our full volume, we will get to getting the boil going. And if I don't get quite up to the 6 gallon or 6.5 gallon pre-boil I'm looking for, I'll top it off with some fresh water, and that'll boil off anyways, leaving behind what I'm looking for as far as the beer goes. So here we go, we're fly sparging. We'll get back to you here in a second when we start boiling. Cheers. Alright guys, you can see we're at the pre-boil build-up here. As soon as this thing starts rolling boil, I have to maintain the temperature and everything. As soon as we're about 5 minutes into the boil, I will add the first hop addition of Centennial hops. It's a 1/4 ounce of Centennial. Those will boil for 55 minutes, but about, the 20 minutes later spot, I will add in another 1/4 ounce of Centennial, and then about 15 minutes prior to flame out, I'll add in the Cascades, 1/4 ounce Cascades, and then 5 minutes prior to flame out, we will add in the other 1/4 ounce of Cascades. But right now we're waiting for this to come to a boil, and so I'm going to be monitoring this while it goes. Alright guys, we're 5 minutes into our rolling boil. We're going to go ahead and add our 1/4 ounce of Centennial hops. And after this, in about 20 minutes, we'll add the other 1/4 ounce of Centennial. It's cooking right along, smells really good. Alright, it's been 20 minutes. Time to add our second addition of 1/4 ounce Centennials. And there they are. And in 15 minutes, we'll add our third hop addition of a 1/4 ounce of Cascade. Smelling pretty promising, y'all. Look, it looks like it wants to boil over a little bit, but I think it'll work itself out. See you in 15 minutes. Coming right along. Alright, it's been 15 minutes. It's time to add our third hop addition of 1/4 ounce of Cascades. We'll go for 15 more minutes and we'll add our last hop addition, and then that'll go for 5 minutes, and then we'll kill the flame and chill this beer, and then we will put it in the fermenter. Alright guys, it's been 15 minutes. It's time to add our final hop addition, 1/4 ounce of Cascades. And in 5 minutes we will kill the flame, and I've got my wort chiller in here already sanitizing it, and I'll be cooling this down, and I'll get back to you when we add it to the fermenter. Alright guys, we got the wort chilled down, and now I want to put it in my sanitized fermenter. As you can see, I've got it sanitized, and now I need to add my strainer so I can catch any of the hop tube. Try to catch most of the hop debris as possible, so let's go ahead and do that. And then after that, I'm going to take a Bree reading and convert that to specific gravity. So here we go. At the same time as I'm doing this, the wort will get well aerated going through the strainer. Just going to open it up more. Got to back up a little bit. Okay, so now my fermenter's full of freshly brewed wort. I'm going to go ahead and take my refractometer and take a reading, get a little sample from my sanitized dipper here. Let's see what we got. We're getting about a reading of 12.5. So let's see what that is on my little handy dandy Beersmith app here. 12.5. Beersmith. If you don't have the Beersmith app, I highly recommend you get it, because the Beersmith app has all these great tools in it, from specific gravity adjustments to mash infusion steps to everything. I mean, but I'll show you guys right here so you can see. And I want to be able to see as well. So we said 12.5, right? So we go in here, we put 12.5. Oops. Reading it through the camera, so bear with me. 12.5 Bree, right? I say go. That says we have a specific gravity of 1.049. So, and this is usually pretty accurate. So yeah, it's gonna be a 1%, or not 1%, 4% or more, 4 or 5% on this. So exactly what I thought it would be, and that's what the original post for this particular recipe said it would be. So anyways, guys, I've got my nicely hydrated Nottingham yeast. Go ahead and dump it in the fermenter. Alright, that's done. Now I gotta cap it. I have a nicely sanitized lid, so I'm gonna go ahead and lock it in place here. Alright, lid's on there good. So now I always keep my handy dandy spray bottle around here for sanitizing everything. Just gonna take this off. Pour the sanitizer in my airlock, like so. Put the bell in there, put the cap, ta-da, and just kind of put it in the grout. Grommet. Just enough that it's well sealed in there. That's it. So when this is done, I'll probably do a review of it for you guys as well. Why not? But have a good feeling about this one. This one looks like it's going to be really good. So until next time, cheers.